Welcome to the Camp Springs Community Church Music Blog. Sometimes we have special music. People in the congregation present music that's on their heart. We're going to do the little different for today. We're going to have a music blog, and we're going to look at early music that was in the church in the 17th and 18th century. And so this is a presentation by the Camp Springs Community Church, Clinton, Maryland, on May 24th by John Sanzone, chair of the music community. So the music of the 17th to 18th century includes a music period called Baroque. During the Baroque period, there were many famous composers. Some to mention are John Pachelbel, who was born in Nuremberg in Germany in 1653, Johann Sebastian Bach, born in Eisenach, Germany in 1685, and George Frederick Handel, born in Halle, Germany in 1685, but he later lived in England. So the first two, Pachelbel and Bach, were very influential in their style of music that they wrote and presented in the church in the Baroque period. One of the pieces of music we presented a couple weeks ago is called Pachelbel's Canon in D. What makes a canon a canon? Well, it's a music style that's written to be played in a church setting, and the music is a simple structure. This allows the church attendee to listen to the music, but to also allow their mind to freely meditate as it's being presented. Typically, a canon has one performer starting after another, so they're in succession, and they repeat a simple structure, and then there's more intricacy that's added as this canon progresses. In this particular case, canon in D starts with a simple four-measure progression known as a phrase that is repeated over and over again, and as a new phrase comes up, the music coming in might sound a little bit more complex. So what is this all about, phrases and starting and all this other stuff? So one thing to think of is the chords. So the chords in the canon in D use a 2-beat cadence. That means the chord is changing on every 2 beats, and it's changing according to the sequence of the root chord, the fifth, the dominant, the sixth, the submediant, going to the third, the mediant, the fourth, the subdominant, back to the root, back to the subdominant, and ending with the dominant. So there's a little of a lift to the final chord because it's on the fifth of the scale. If you look at the keyboard, the keys C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Canon in D means that the song is written in D major, and so the root chord is a D chord, starts on D, and all major chords go up a major third and then up a minor third. So you have D, F sharp, A, which completes the major chord triad, in this case the root. And then the next chord is a dominant chord, and that's the fifth of the chord, and it's dominant because it has such a leading edge to it that it wants to go back to the root chord after it's played. But in this case, the A major chord is being played, and then the chord right after it is the subdominant, which is the fourth. So you're going D chord, A chord, G chord, which is down a step. It's also a major chord, starts on G. And then the mediant chord is the F sharp, which is the third of the scale. And because we're in the key of D, only 2 sharps, this F sharp chord actually plays as a minor chord. And then the submediant chord, the B, so that is the sixth of the scale, is played out as minor, and this creates the tension. So you have 2 minor chords, and so you can see the progression is major chord, minor, minor, major, 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 and then ending on the dominant, the fifth. So there's no resolution, and that's what gives the music its lift and an ongoing feel similar to a round. Not until the very last chord of the song played does it end on the root. So canon in D, now known as the essential music for any wedding, but why? Well, back in the day, canon in D, Pachelbel wrote it for 3 violins, but it could be modified to anything arranged like a string quartet or organ, keyboard. And then Pachelbel on strings has a more intimate sounding aesthetic, and it transcends cultures. So that's why maybe why we're hearing it. And if you might recall, back in 1981, Diana and Charles' wedding, they used another Baroque processional when she walked down the aisle, which led to an interest in other composers of the Baroque period, including Pachelbel. So since about 1981 or so, this canon in D has become more used in weddings because it has that motif for it, I guess. So canon in D was one of many works that Pachelbel contributed. He made his main livelihood playing organ in the church, as well as teaching music. So listen to a little bit of canon in D, and I hope you would like this blog. Thank you.